welcome to another episode of Rookie Farms. I built my very first bridge on the property, and I'm going to show you how I did it. The bridge that I ended up building was maybe a little bit more intense than you'd normally do for something like this. I actually built a smaller bridge after this one that just rests on top of the ground. It doesn't have the post in the ground, but this was a wider span, so I wanted to make sure that it was sturdy enough to hold the weight of my four-wheeler, as well as if I was towing anything behind with the four-wheeler. The creek spans around 6 feet, so I ended up giving me a little bit extra space on both ends and bought boards that are 10 feet long. So I've got 4 2x6s that I run across the creek to span the gap. One of the other reasons why we wanted this bridge, this really is going to give us a lot better access to the back of our property. We have a large section where this creek runs along the back and really blocks off a lot of good land that we could be using or enjoying in different ways. And once we were walking around in the back of the property, we realized that we can make a fun walking trail. So this bridge, along with a couple others that we're going to build, will allow us to have our own little walking path around our property. And long term, this is actually going to be a great tool for us when we have animals in different sections of the property. This will allow me to get around to those different pastures to reach the animals. We have actually cleared most of the trail already at this point. I plan on making a video of the trail, but I'm waiting until I get a better camera that I can mount for a few different angles. So at this point, I've got the frame built, and I was actually really excited about this next part. I thought it'd make for a cool video. These boards are all boards from inside of our garage that the previous owner had used for the shelving that they had set up. So I was able to take all that down because we wanted something different, and now I'm recycling them, using them as our deck boards. I think I've reached the point in life where this is one of the more exciting things for me, being able to use material that I pulled from a different project and repurpose it. I don't know if that's becoming a dad thing, but I think I understand why men seem to hold on to tools and supplies people say they'll never use, but I've been able to repurpose this shelving previous owner had into a lot of different things, and this is about the last of it. Also, I fixed a shower leak without even having to go to Lowe's. I just used a part that I already had stored on a shelf with a bunch of miscellaneous items. So that was pretty awesome too. Anyway, back to the project. As always with all my videos, I have plenty of mistakes that I make along the way, and this is actually one of them that I'm realizing now after using the bridge for a few weeks. I'm having some issues with the boards staying down. What I didn't realize is I needed to have 2 screws side by side, so a total of 8 screws per board rather than just the 4 that I have in right now. Having gone over the bridge with the four-wheeler a few times, it has actually caused a few of these boards to loosen up, and I think that they're going to pop off eventually. Not a huge issue. I'll just drive a few more screws in and that'll resolve it. But now I understand why there's so many screws in decking. One other funny thing that Rachel and I ran into while we were mapping out where the bridge was going to go, we placed the 4 corners and we started doing our measurements to get everything square. We were using string and a couple measuring tapes, but after trying for about 20 minutes, not being able to get anything square, we had to reevaluate things. I understand the concept of how to make things square, but in the field, we were having a lot of issues and could not get it square. We understand the math, and Rachel's my math wizard, but it just wasn't lining up. So we just gave up and we built the frame, the 4 outer boards, and then used that to mark our holes. Still a skill that I want to get better at because there's a lot of projects where being able to measure and place something square, just one starting point, is a good skill to have, but we'll cross that bridge another time. All in all, the bridge was a fun project. Wasn't really too difficult, and it stood up to everything that we needed it to. This ramp that I'm putting on, these were an afterthought, as you can tell, and they don't look great, but they work so that my four-wheeler can get on. Originally, I thought I would dig it out and have the ramp flush, but that was a lot of work. So here we go. It's tested and ready to be used. And as a bonus, the Bridge Builder is actually one of my favorite poems, so give that a Google. Hope you enjoy it. And thanks for watching another episode of Rookie Farms. And to quote every YouTuber ever, like and subscribe. Be sure you don't miss out on the next videos I'll be posting. Thanks.